all of the transitional cells and viable cells are still there. Now the nutrients that are in place are sitting between and in connection with the viable and transitional cells. And the ceramides, you guys know about ceramides and liposomes, how they can break apart and da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, we pretty much inactivated them by putting the cold towels on, because they only activate when heat, the BMR, the basic metabolic rate, comes up. So they're just laying flaccid there. And they have all the DMA, alpha-lipoic acids, just all those things in them. And we don't want them to really be activated right now. So our next solution is a combination hydration moisturizer. You're saying, how can you do that? You can't make a hydration combination moisturizer. Yes, you can. I didn't believe it myself, but I found out that if you have, and this is care of Dr. Maybach out of San Francisco, who's really a sharp guy. He teaches dermatology at San Francisco. But in his book, he describes polar laminizations and hydrophobic formations. And what you can do with certain combinations of nutrients is you can make them almost like a sodium PCA molecule. You know, sodium PCA is what you're born with in your skin, and you lose half of those at 21, and you start aging because of the sodium PCA cascade. Well, the sodium PCA has a hydrophobic and a hydrophilic molecule, polar and non-polar ends, because they're natural humans. Almost like a, in chemistry we call it a left and right hand molecule, sinister and beneficial. So if you make a beneficial molecularization by combining certain pH, and you mirror that with the opposing non-polar end, then the skin cell, not knowing that it's a chemical, and thinking of it and seeing it as a nutrient, will accept it on both sides. So that's how you can combine hydration and moisturization at the same time. You make a hydrator that attracts moisture from the outside, and a moisturizer that attracts water from the inside. Along with sodium PCA, so I cheat a little bit. So put a little sodium PCA in there. Okay, this goes on nice and smooth. Again, pardon my fingers. And I see that she's kind of like, not really dry, but she's not oily. She's more, and she's kind of closer to dry, but she's kind of combination, so I'm using a little bit more than I normally would use. And I want to kind of just let it slather up there, nice and smooth. And I'm going to take one of these. I'm going to, okay, hands. Now this is called skin halation, okay? Now this is the activating portion of the solution that causes all of the nutrients that we have now from the exfoliation solution to become totally activated. You don't need a great deal of it. In fact, that's leaking a little bit. You can check that out. Look at that, it's leaking just a little bit. I'm going to saturate this. Now this is high potency stuff here. Okay, this stimulation solution is probably the only naturally occurring moisturizer that your skin has developed outside of the skin. And it's all plant derived. I can't tell you it right now because I'm not supposed to. But believe me, this is good stuff, Maynard. Okay. And I'm going to make sure I cover the whole area here. Do you guys do the neck also when you're doing the face, the décolleté?
Typically no.
No, okay. But I know some technicians include the neck and the décolleté when they're doing the face. But to me, if you're doing the face, do the face. I'll get that hot towel too. This is, okay. I see about the wrap. Gotcha. You doing okay under there? Okay. Such neat things. Okay, now, all we're going to do now is increase the basal metabolic rate of the skin. Internally, to be manifested. Externally, this will release all of the liposomes, ceramides, encapsulated nutrients into the skin, and it takes about 3 to 4 minutes to do. Are you comfortable?
Mm-hmm. I'm comfortable.
Good. Now, while this is going on, you know the erector pili of the skin cells begin to relax too, so that opens up the pores. And so the pores open up to about 0.4 to 0.5, and they'll stay that way for a good amount of time. This nebulizer delivers 1.8 million to 2.5 million particles per second into every pore, way above anything that you're standard using. Okay, in fact, you can barely see them coming out. Let's use the double out of the bag there rather than the single. Let's use the double because she's got good too. So we're going to take, and with these bottles here are all of the nutrients that are going to go into the skin. These are all micellized nutrients, enzymes, minerals, and the whole nine yards. Now this is going to smell a little vitamin-y, dear. Okay, sorry. And thank you. And since she is a quasi combination, and you customize the treatment based on this, and if she was dry, she would get 3 drops of each. But since she's quasi, you know, I'm going to only give her 2 drops of each. Oily, 1 to 2 depending. And they're labeled nutrient 1, nutrient 2, and nutrient 3. You can't get confused. Okay. Each one has its own different color and smell. Except I like the smell of number 3 because it smells just like medicine.
In the literature, does it provide kind of a combination of what you would put for different skin types?
Yes.
Okay.
But then we're going to, in the instructional phase, we talk about the differences in combination of dry and oily skin, the textures of them. Here's that one more time. And we get into skinulation. Oh. Okay. There. We start to break, this is one too, shake it a little bit more. We get into how the skin reacts in certain nutrients, the beneficial aspects of it, the lasting benefits to the skin, the client. We're trying to develop a whole approach unlike anything being done in cosmetics now, since we're the only ones that have effectively addressed intrinsic aging. We're trying to include a body, soul, and spirit format. You know, organic is good, but the organic in medicine and organic in cosmetics are 2 different things. You know, organic in medicine simply means naturally derived product that is produced without chemicals. That's all. But in cosmetics, it's a whole other thing. In fact, they're fighting about it. But we do have organic approach, but we don't want to say organic because of the cosmetic situation.